The best way to prevent the coronavirus is by washing your hands with soap. But what if the store ran out of soap? Luckily, you can make your own. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make easy, natural melt-and-pour soaps at home that you can use to remove viruses and bacteria from your hands. If you're bored during the coronavirus outbreak, why not make these soaps to help you stay safe? Here are the general materials, but the materials may vary for each of the soap recipes. Individual recipes are in the description below. For all three soaps, you will need a melt-and-pour soap base. I got a goat's milk soap base and a clear glycerin base on Amazon.com. You will also need a soap mold. The molds can be in any shape or size. I have silicone molds from Amazon.com. I will also be using a variety of essential oils. You will also need soap colorants. I got these on Amazon. Lastly, you will need a knife, something to mix with like a spoon, a cutting board, and a microwave-safe bowl. This is optional, but you can put rubbing alcohol in a spray bottle to spray on top of the soap to prevent bubbles. The first soap is Teatree honey. To make this, first chop up the soap base into small chunks. The smaller the chunks, the faster it will melt. I'm using a clear soap base, but you can also use white. The amount of soap depends on the size of mold you have. I measured the amount by putting the soap chunks in the mold. Then I dumped the soap chunks into the bowl. Of course this won't be exact, so I added an extra chunk of soap to the bowl so that there would be enough. Make sure you always add more soap than you need. Now it's time to melt. Microwave it for 30 seconds at a time while stirring in between. Make sure you don't boil or burn it. This is how my soap looks after 30 seconds in the microwave. It's okay if it still has some chunks, that's stirred to melt it completely. If your soap isn't completely melted, put it in the microwave for 30 seconds again. Now I'm adding the ingredients. I'm adding 4 to 6 drops of tea tree essential oil. Tea tree essential oil has been found to be effective against many types of harmful bacteria, fungi, and viruses. Next, I'm adding about 1 teaspoon of honey. Honey has been used for its antibacterial and antiviral properties for thousands of years. Lastly, I'm stirring it all together with my spoon. Make sure to mix it well in order for the honey to be incorporated. After stirring, I had to remelt it for 10 seconds because the soap was starting to set. Pour the soap into the mold. Spray some rubbing alcohol on top to kill the bubbles. Now wait for it to set for 3 to 4 hours. The tea tree honey soap is ready to unmold. The soap popped out really easily and is moisturizing to the skin. The next soap is Lemon Lavender. First cut your soap base into small chunks. I only used a little bit of soap this time since I had a small mold. I measured the amount of soap using the mold. Just like last time, I added 1 extra chunk to the bowl. After adding the rest of the soap, I microwaved it for 30 seconds. Stir to completely melt the chunks. Repeat this process until the soap is completely melted. I'm adding 4 to 5 drops of lemon essential oil, which has some germ-killing properties. I'm also adding 4 to 5 drops of lavender essential oil. After adding 1 drop of purple, I stirred it all together. Tip: if your soap is starting to cool down and thicken, microwave it for 10 seconds at a time while stirring in between until it's liquid again. I'm going to add these dried lavender flowers to this puppy paw mold that I'm going to be pouring my soap into. These dried lavender flowers are actually for tea. Just sprinkle a little bit, don't put too many or else the soap will fall apart. Now that the lavender flowers are placed at the bottom of the mold, I'm going to pour the soap. I used a spoon to scoop out the soap that was left in the bowl. I also remelted the soap that was left over in the bowl to fill in the empty space in the mold. This is optional, but I sprinkled some more lavender flowers on top. Spray some rubbing alcohol to kill the bubbles. Since my mold was small, I only let it set for 2 hours, but a regular sized mold should take 4 hours to set. Here's the lemon lavender soap after 2 hours. The lavender petals in this make it exfoliating and it smells super nice. This soap is a 3-layered soap that contains lemongrass, peppermint, and eucalyptus essential oils. Since I don't want to say all of those names, I'm just going to call it lemongrass soap for short. Start off by cutting your soap into small chunks, just like the previous soaps. I'm measuring the soap using the mold, and just like before, I'm adding 1 extra soap chunk to the batch. The first 2 soaps were beginner soaps, but this one is a little harder, so I don't recommend it if you're new to Melt&Pour soap. If you want more soaps for beginners, check out my other video featuring 3 more easy Melt&Pour soap recipes. Just click on the card here to watch it. Okay, now that the soap is cut, I split the chunks into 3 equal groups. Each group of soap chunks will be a different layer. Take 1 group of soap and place it in the bowl. This will be the first layer, which is lemongrass. Set the other groups aside for now. Melt it just like the other soaps, for 30 seconds in the microwave. Stir and microwave until the soap is completely melted. The soap is now melted, so I will add 4 to 5 drops of lemongrass essential oil. Lemongrass essential oil has some antibacterial properties. Then you can add whatever color you want. I'm using green and yellow soap coloring. Mix it together. The next step is different. Now we need to set up the mold. Get a book and use it to prop up the mold on one side so that the mold is tilted. I'm going to be pouring the soap into this corner of the mold. Pour the soap into the lower side of the mold. Keep pouring until the soap reaches the top edge of the mold. Spray rubbing alcohol on top to kill the bubbles. Leave it to set for at least 20 minutes. While the lemongrass layer is setting, I'm going to make the next layer, which is eucalyptus. Grab the second group of soap chunks and place it in a bowl to melt. As you can see, you should have 1 remaining group of soap chunks left for the last layer, which we will do later. To the melted soap, I'm adding blue and green soap colorant, which will make a teal color. Then I'm adding 4 to 5 drops of eucalyptus essential oil. Eucalyptus essential oil has been proven to be effective against many types of harmful bacteria and a number of viruses. Mix it all together. Now it's ready to pour. The previous layer should be hardened. If not, then wait longer. Bring over the same mold as before and place the book on the other side of the mold, which is the side with the first layer of soap. Prop up the mold so that the soap side is higher than the empty side. We're going to pour the soap into the lower part of the mold, so spray some rubbing alcohol first to help it stick. Then pour the soap. Keep pouring until it can't fit anymore. Don't make it accidentally overflow like mine. Wait for the layer to set for at least 20 minutes. While I'm waiting for the layer to set, I'm going to melt the final group of soap chunks for the last layer. For this layer, I'm adding 4 to 5 drops of peppermint essential oil. Peppermint essential oil has been found to eliminate some types of harmful bacteria. Now I'm adding a tiny bit of blue soap colorant. I put the colorant on the back of the spoon so that there will be a very little light blue color in the soap. And no color is coming off, so I guess I put too little. Now I'm adding some more. Now it's time to pour the soap into the same mold. All the previous layers should be hardened. Take out the book and place the mold on a flat surface. Just pour the soap right into the middle and it should fill in the empty space. I used a spoon to scoop out the leftovers and spread out the soap to all 4 corners.
Good morning, sun. How are you? Skies above. Jeeps great.
Lastly, spray the top with rubbing alcohol and wait for it to set for 2 hours. A great way to use up leftovers is to make a small soap like this teal one, which I've made out of leftovers from the eucalyptus layer in the lemongrass soap. Now I'm unmolding the layered lemongrass soap. I have no idea what it's going to look like because this is actually my first time making this specific design. Here's how all of the sides look. It came out kind of bumpy on top since it's my first time, but I think it will turn out better next time. If you only look on this side, I think it looks pretty cool. For these soaps to actually remove the coronavirus from your hands, you have to wash your hands for at least 20 seconds under warm water. Here I'm using one of the soap scraps left over from the bowl after pouring because I didn't want to waste it. As you can see, it lathers really well. I'm pretty sure you all know that one of the most effective ways of preventing the coronavirus is by washing your hands with soap. Please note, the soap will not cure you once you have the virus, as it only helps to prevent it by removing it from your hands. Give this video a like and please subscribe to my channel for more art related videos. Thank you so much for watching and don't forget to wash your hands.